Wait. It's a dark room.
No!
Hi guys! How are you all doing today? It's me, Animuh, with my wife, Aqua, and we're reacting, sort of, analysing, discussing the teaser 6 and our feelings about Life is Strange in general. So, what up, girl?
What up?
In the event that you're super rad, you'll have seen some of our Honey Pop Let's Play, and therefore you'll have seen my Slammin' Bride before. What are you doing? Save that for 10K! You monster!
I don't know what came over me.
Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, it's awful and awfully British as well. My chair's really creaky, so I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, what did we notice, my lady?
This teaser, right?
Yeah, man.
It's like 70% the same teaser.
Yes. Guess what? We're Max, we're in the dark room. Oh, shit.
No, to be honest, there's quite a bit of difference. I mean,
There is quite a bit.
well, this one, what do you think? Sort of seems to confirm the camera, the photo taking in real detail, huh?
Yes, this one definitely seems to confirm that Max is getting her ass pictures. Her ass pictures. She's tied down. What do we think about the tying thing? Because we discussed. If you've missed it, by the way, I analysed the previous teaser to this, and actually this one's just kind of blown it out the water in terms of making me wrong. So what do we think about the rope tying this time?
Well, it seems like she's tied in a way to stop her from time traveling for sure.
Mm-hmm.
She's tied, we can tell, by the ankles as well as the hands this time.
Yes.
Seems to be inhibiting her ability to time travel, I would guess, but then there's a weird detail in this teaser in that her nose is bleeding.
Shit, baby!
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's like she's trying to use her powers, but she can't. Like that time when she was gonna go and see Kate, like she was just gonna have a cup of tea or something. All right, Kate! She's like on the roof for like 3 seconds from death. Yeah, so when she was gonna see Kate, she was bleeding everywhere. And in episode 2, when she was using her powers a lot because Chloe was like, I want to shoot something.
Right, so in general, we've known that her nose starts to bleed when she's overexerting herself, but then it's weird because she's tied down, and we know that for her to time travel, she seems to need to do her hand stuff. She uses her hand for that, so some people were speculating that she couldn't time travel right now because her hands were tied, so seems like it's a bit weird then that her nose is bleeding, indicating she's straining to time travel.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
It's that she's trying to time travel, but she can't for whatever reason. And when Jefferson drugged her in the first place, she tried to rewind and she couldn't.
Right. She sort of gets that look, makes those motions towards it. And my initial response to the end of episode 4, when he does drug her, is I thought, oh well, the drugs have...
Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Sorry, Max. Oh well, I guess he's definitely, with whatever drug he's put, he's trying to keep her from time traveling. So whether that means the drug was like a muscle relaxer, as I've seen that mentioned before on the subreddit.
Oh, okay.
That maybe it's a muscle relaxer. But it also seems to make her very hazy mentally, so I'm not sure what kind of drug that is. But anyway, when I first saw that scene, I really thought that Jefferson's goal in that moment was to keep her from time traveling.
Right.
So I think that's just sort of continuing on in these teasers, But the teasers are really dark, aren't they?
They are so dark, and we thought about this. We thought about how Life is Strange has changed from being kind of Scooby Squad to like shit to like psychological horror kind of, which is not what we thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, I remember when Animuh first found Life is Strange on Steam prior to its release, and we got really hyped because she's like, oh, it's like solving mystery, there's 2 girls, maybe they're banging.
Exact terminology, by the way.
So we were really psyched for like the character development.
Yes.
And we got that. I mean,
yes.
I think that she and I both really liked the beginning of episode 4 with seeing Chloe in her alternate timeline, but now it's taken this episode 4, its beginning was like what we wanted, but then it went down this super dark path. Like it's now at this point there's an adult male figure who's got us tied down, and
yes.
and I think we're also both of the same mind that Jefferson's got some greater purpose, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We've never thought that Jefferson is just out to take pictures because he's a creep, lol. And no disrespect to people who do think that he's just a psycho and that's what he does, but we've just never maintained that ideology. And by the way, this one just knew about Jefferson since before Life is Strange was even made, basically.
I mean.
She was just like, I don't trust that guy, like, straight away.
I thought that his character was a little bit uncanny right away.
Yeah.
He is immediately shown to you as, like, this authority figure that you're supposed to respect. He even sort of tries to get on the cool level, you know, he tries to...
It's a bit weird.
Speak the lingo, and he really appeals to this young adult mentality. So it's like he's really trying to get on the same level as these girls, to be honest.
He doesn't have boundaries.
He doesn't have boundaries,
He doesn't have boundaries.
So every little moment that Jefferson ignores a boundary, it was a tick to me, and I was like, I don't really know about this guy.
Yeah, you were really... You didn't like him from day one. I remember you started saying something to me, but you kept it. And I actually blew it off at the time. I was like, I don't know. Because he reminds me so much of, and art students will agree with me on this, he reminds me so much of, like, professors from my university and, like, from my art foundation. They always used to tie us up and take pictures of us too! Oh no! Yeah, so how he comes across is very like that. So I was just like, whatever. He's like an eccentric kind of crappy boundaries teacher, but he's so of that character.
Yeah, I think that was completely intentional.
Yes.
I think it
got me.
It's no disrespect to Life is Strange at all for creating a character like Jefferson, because it's true. Like, at moments where I didn't trust Jefferson, I thought, I can see a teacher this way. You know, there's teachers like this that exist prior to the picture taking. I mean, I thought there's teachers that try to be hip and who actually are quite cool and inspiring for their students, but I thought that there was something oddly stern about him.
Yes.
And that I thought that it was very uncanny compared to how he was very soft with students at the same time.
And wasn't it weird how in episode 2 you could blame him? I feel like that was a huge warning flag.
I immediately blamed him in episode 2 because
I blamed him as well.
He was the direct cause of Kate's incident. Prior to the incident, Kate was arguing with him. She stormed out and went to go jump off a roof.
It's fucked up.
That he was... I wasn't trying to blame him and saying that he was the only cause of her distress. Of course, everyone in that room was a cause of her distress.
It was just a virtue of how narrow the choices... Not that the choices were narrow, but you had to blame one person.
Yeah, and the way the question was asked, I thought, absolutely Jefferson is the one to blame here. They were in a really strange argument prior to her jumping off the roof. So anyway, yeah, I think Jefferson's always been a shady one, but... you know, I can't help but think that he's, like we said, has a greater goal with these pictures, which we didn't actually touch on this yet, but the weirdest part of this teaser is the fact that at the end we can see that Max is posed in almost the same exact way as Kate.
Yes, and this is what kind of ruined my impression of the previous teaser, because I thought she was tied in quite a specific kind of way. That was different. It was pointed, right? Because she was tied up in a chair. But then this one shows us that she's in the same position that Kate was in. So it was like, Jesus, like, you know, the distinguishing features are kind of blending, and
it's weird because the chair is still, as far as I know, specific to Max.
Yes,
like her being forced into a chair. I don't think we've seen pictures that are like that. They seem to be more stylish.
He just really wants her to be comfortable.
Somehow I doubt that.
Take a seat, Max. Take a seat, Max.
Yeah. It's weird because this teaser specifically wants to show us both poses.
Right.
Want to show us her in the chair, strapped down, but also in Kate's exact pose. So, what does that mean about Kate's abduction compared to Max's, sort of? Is there something to draw there? And if so, what's the correlation? Because as far as we can tell, Max is a really different person from Kate. Kate's probably not a time traveler. Kate's got a whole different relationship with Jefferson than Max does, I would say.
More intimate.
There's something weird. I mean, this could be a whole nother video. There's something weird with Jefferson and Kate's relationship, but it's clearly not the same one as Max's. So why does the trailer want us to draw a parallel between Kate's abductions and Max's abduction?
Yes. And of course, we're aware that the trailers could absolutely just be hyping this
yeah.
dangerous situation, just to be like, what is going on, and get us all like, oh my god, what's happening. So we're completely aware that we could be overanalyzing this, but this is what discussion is for, and it's just fun to get involved and get into
Plus,
it.
we're just excited.
We're just excited, so yeah.
Yeah, but it makes me also wonder why is Jefferson, this seems like a really simple question, but why is he taking pictures of Max? Because in the whole game, we've seen these binders, the binders where the pictures are held, and of course, as everyone knows, the next binder is for Victoria. Max doesn't even have a binder that we can see, so do you think it's possible that that Jefferson's been misleading Max with the Victoria binder? Do you think he was trying to make her think Victoria was the next target, and thus somehow entrap her in this situation? Maybe one day they'll pull away the Victoria label and it'll be Max!
Oh god.
Or maybe I've got the tinfoil hat on too tightly. This happens a lot.
Yeah, you like your conspiracies.
Oh yeah, I don't think anything is what it seems, and I never will. Speaking
You're
of which,
into...
Rachel Amber is definitely dead, according to an interview that came out recently.
Oh, that upset this one a lot. Like, you didn't accept that it was Rachel. I don't blame you for that, because they didn't show us her face, and that was so like, why not? But it's because they didn't want to.
Apparently it was a rating thing, but in video games of this kind, if you don't see the dead person's death, they're not dead.
Because it's not confirmed, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is that they could have had like an earring, Rachel's distinguished earring. They could have done just something that would be like, yes, this is Rachel, by the way, and not just this anonymous blue bag, because that's got people to go into these massive tangents about Nathan's jacket or something, and that's like, oh my god.
Yeah, so I don't know why they made that choice with Rachel, because they could have just like
anything
Animuh said,
that would have,
just like an earring, because she has those, those specific earrings. And she has specific style. They could have put an article of her clothing. So if the issue was the dead body,
or like a bit of her leg showing with her tattoo,
literally
just anything.
Because I was one of those people that I read every single Rachel Amber missing poster before I had much context for her, because I wanted to find this person, and I wanted. Plus, I was really interested in Samuel's conversation with Max in episode 4, where he says things like, if you continue down this path, you will find Rachel, and I think he makes reference to saving Rachel specifically, not just finding her, or that's how I took it at least. So when we found her dead, I felt very disappointed.
And he says things like, you'll find what you're looking for, and Max isn't looking for Rachel's dead body, I feel. I don't know, like, I think like it was a bit.
It led me to believe we'd find her alive with what, unless I'm wrong, what Samuel was saying. So when I found her dead and we didn't see her face, I was like, psst, why did they bother to include the whole Samuel conversation then? Because he had so much to say there. So I'm not really sure, but something that makes us a bit crazy is sort of the turn that everything's taken. It's become so dark at this point that
it's gotten really dark.
Yeah, even though the teasers have been used to heavily misdirect fans with Life is Strange in general, like thinking of the episode 2 teaser from the end of episode 1, where they just focus on the train tracks the whole time and they make you think that's like this really important plot line. It's actually just like nothing. It's just one of those moments where you're trying to show Chloe you're a time traveler, really. It's nothing that important.
And the teaser at the end of episode 2, where you are running with Chloe inside Blackwell at night. Of course that happens, but how the teaser is framed is like you're running specifically in the halls around the lockers hiding.
Yeah.
I guess you do run in lockers, but it felt like it was more in the school halls than in the pool.
The whole framing of it makes you think that it's more relevant to the plot than it is. That's what these teasers tend to be, so maybe that's the case here. Either way, it has us really wondering how in the world episode 5 is going to resolve all the things that are still yet to be resolved.
Okay, so kind of moving on to like the deep, like, our feelings about episode 5, aside from the teaser, well, including the teaser, but we're a bit like at a loss for how it's all gonna tie up. Like, how are your choices from the previous episodes gonna actually have an impact in this one? Because how it's going, of course this is conjecture, but it seems like there's gonna be decisions in episode 5 that are unique to episode 5.
But yet the whole game we've been told XYZ action will have consequences.
Alyssa!
By the way, I've missed her once, so we'll see what happens to my Alyssa. Maybe everybody else in the list is
fucking
fine.
dead.
My Kate's alive, my Lisa's alive, my Alyssa's probably in a ditch.
It's funny because you saved Lisa.
It's because I don't go back and change what I've done in Life is Strange. I just accept the choice I've made. So basically I missed Lisa in episode 1, found out about it at the end of episode 1 where it's like, you missed Lisa, and I was like, oh, I missed the plant! And then in episode 2 I was like, I must water this plant, and of course that put me on the path toward actually saving Lisa.
Yeah,
so.
because miss one, water one.
So maybe that's something Alyssa, probably my Alyssa's fucked.
She fucked. She did!
Anyway, though, we have these kind of plot lines to still resolve, and all the teasers talk about is this damn room. So what? Like, it brings you back to how's Max gonna get out of there, if at all, and how's Chloe gonna come back, because Chloe's coming back.
If she doesn't come back, I'm out. I think
I'm out.
Everyone is out.
Everyone's out.
If she doesn't come back, I'm gonna cry my heart
I
out.
will really cry. I mean,
yeah.
Will not be okay.
No.
I mean, we just want to see some price field. I mean, don't tell anyone, but Animuh wants, I can't say this, but Max and Victoria.
They're just really hot, okay? I really like Victoria. Sticky Vicky! I just love her, okay? But we could have all 3 of them shipped together, and that would be fine, right? That would be fine. But Pricefield would always be close to my heart.
This nasty stuff.
I'm into, Alyssa and Miss Grant. My OTP!
I thought that's great, that I thought that's illegal. Anyway, I wonder what kind of choices we're gonna have as episode 5 comes along, because even though some people didn't love this, and even I didn't love it at first, I really liked the idea of, in episode 4, when you get to see what Chloe's alternate timeline is if you try and save her father, how it ends up putting her in a wheelchair ultimately, and it ends up putting her in a situation where she's disabled but ultimately quite happier person, or that's how it seemed. Of course there's its own issues, but
yes.
I was interested in the idea that maybe Max would be able to pick which timeline to exist in. Do we let Chloe sort of live with her father around, or do we let her live sort of more of a messed up life, and a less happy life, but with the freedom and mobility of not being handicapped? I liked the idea that the game was giving us this kind of a really hard choice. Really felt like a real butterfly effect thing, and I don't know how much they've abandoned that line of thought. I don't know what kind of choices we're going to be able to make in 5, because I think that I would quite like that if it's a really hard choice like that again. And
yes. And we don't want it to be a situation where because a lot of these kind of butterfly effect choice-based games, they kind of just sort of rack up points in different directions, because it's very hard to do like a truly choice-based game without spending billions of years in development for all these different scenarios. It seems to be that these choice games funnel into A, B, C, depending on how many points you put towards each decision. So let's say, for example, siding with David, put 50 points into column B, or not siding with David, actually put 50 points into column A. So what we're hoping is it won't just be like, lol, this happens, like, you know, a bit more complicated than good, bad ending.
Yeah, but even so, I want them to take into account our actions from the game.
Right,
so I'm in this hard place because I really don't want what Animuh just described. I mean, that sucks, because like, I'm one of those people that didn't...
Sorry, my nose is really itchy. I keep touching my nose. Carry on.
I'm one of those people that didn't always side with Chloe, and I was doing it sort of for her greater good. But I'm afraid that's going to come back. They're going to add up all the points and say, you don't get to bang Chloe.
Which is our main concern, let's be real.
That's definitely my main concern.
Your ending is going to be, you and Warren watching Going Ape.
I said I would go to the movies with Warren because in episode 1, you don't have all this context. You're thinking, I should just make friends. I don't want to go to the movies with Warren anymore. I didn't know it was such a commitment.
That's gonna be your ending.
I'm gonna go ape on you. Scrub.
We do like Warren a lot, by the way.
Oh, I think he's fine. I just don't want to.
We just want to bang Chloe, okay?
Yeah, I kissed Chloe.
That's the end of it.
Don't nod, I kissed Chloe.
Don't nod. Don't nod, I kissed Chloe. Because Don't Nod's watching like,
Don't nod, please.
Don't nod, please.
Please note the fact that I kissed Chloe and let me live happily ever after. Even if she's disabled. Honestly, I would
still, yeah. On that note, we will. Is there anything else you particularly want to add to this pool of discussion?
Hyped.
Hype. Can't wait. Hype. We really appreciate appreciate you guys watching this video up to this point. If you did, and here's gonna be a little test for the faithful. I hate it when I touch this fucking thing! It really upsets me, okay? A test for the faithful, okay? So if you watched all the way up to this point, comment with your favorite pairing, right? And if you're not into that, which I totally understand, comment with nudes. Yeah, the word nudes, or send us nudes, whatever.
We'll accept.
We'll accept them.
Either way.
We'll accept them, so don't worry about it. So yeah, comment with the word nudes, or your favorite pairing, or both, whatever. Or nudes of your favorite pairing. Nudes with you and your favorite pairing. God. The possibilities are endless. Yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to check out any theories you may have missed, any speculation, and my full Life is Strange playthrough will be in the description as well, so go and check that out. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon, friends. Bye-bye!